We're at the Wilson family reunion. This is the amazing setup that they've put together. Look how dope these shoes are. These are from the 80s, and I actually want these. They look like my size. I have not seen these before, but they are so cool. We've got a beautiful basketball here and a cute couple of Funkos down there. Pretty cool to see that. I'm actually in love with this Jordan ball that we've got here, some old games. This is definitely giving me some 80 vibes. It's taking me down memory lane. Not that I can remember much from the 80s, but this is a really cool setup. I love this table that they've got going on here. They're serving up basketballs for us to eat, I guess. Pretty cool. Lots of just really dope photographs on the wall. They really did a great job putting the setup together. I'm excited because we're going to be doing just a nice kind of fireside chat at this table. Really nice setup, and I can't wait to see everybody that's actually going to be discussing the really cool topic of being inspired by the game.
We will stay right where we at. We ain't never fall back. Yeah. We ain't never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We ain't never fall back. We ain't never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We ain't never fall back. Come up with a game plan. Double XL up in the pen, you can't shake that. All the way gassed up, full tank, man. Moving too quick, keep the cameras in the playback. Dang, so tell me how you feel with it. You put a lid on it, I ain't got no chill with it. This right here your problem, you gon' have to deal with it. Lay it on the line.
Welcome everyone to the Wilson family reunion. I'm so happy to have each and every one of you here today. This is probably, I feel like, one of the most creative tables that we're gonna have over the weekend. There's so much talent. I'm looking around. I think we should all actually start our own business together. I don't know. I think we should just make that happen. We all got different creative outlets that we can all utilize in some sense. But today we're going to be talking about basically the meshing between the game and art and design. So I want to go through, ask each of you individually how the game has inspired you in some sense to create and have this creative outlet outside of sports. So I know each of you has a story to tell. Shall we do ladies first with Hannah? Get it started over here. So Hannah, I know that you do a lot for ESPN as far as social media goes. I have seen your social media page. I need you to run mine with your videos. You're so quirky and well thorough and thought through with the videos you produce. So tell me, what got you into working with ESPN and using social media as an outlet for art?
So I started at the NBA, eventually ended up at ESPN, and my own platform, Flintstone, kind of gave me a creative outlet to completely create things that I wasn't necessarily able to do at work. So certain ideas that I had or something that was a little bit more outside of the box and innovative, I was able to just execute that on my own platform. So I think that's just been a huge outlet to me. And because I love basketball, and basketball is so infused in the culture of fashion, art, music, it was just like an easy no-brainer and something that naturally kind of happened. So
Your basketball videos, I need to take some cues from you. My goodness.
Yeah, it's all about the angles.
You're really
and the
looking good
lighting.
on camera, let me tell you. You do an impeccable job. All right, so Dee, you are known for Legos.
Oh yeah.
I know we're missing your brother today. You also have a creative outlet as far as dance, and the two mesh so uniquely in a way together. Can you tell us what inspired you to get involved with your craft?
So basically, like, with the fashion and art, our grandmother, she inspired us. She like rudimentally taught us how to sew at a young age, and she was like always like making clothes for us and stuff like that. So we used to always like tear our pants and like write on them, do like little graffiti stuff at a young age, me and my twin. And I don't know, people found it interesting and they would buy it. So we started recycling fabrics like around like late middle school, early like high school, and we would like rip the pants up and start sewing like old like patchwork and just clothes we found onto the pockets and stuff like that. And more people started liking it in high school. And then what brought us with the game, like I remember one day we found some like old school like thrifted jackets, like NBA jackets, and we started ripping them apart, and we turned them into bags. And, we got real popular with that. And yeah, like we're known to recycle stuff. So we'd always like play with like weird toys, It wasn't like regular that black kids played with Legos. Like that's the thing. So we like would always recycle Legos. And, one day we wore one of our pieces to the Hamptons, and Marc Jacobs seen our stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
And he was like, yo, I want that stuff on my runway show. So that just like really broke us into like, luxury fashion. So, then we really found our niche is like to recycle like, older things, and yeah, basically recycle stuff and turn it into fashion.
I love the grandma story. My grandma used to make me costumes growing up too, but that never transpired, unfortunately, into anything.
She made us that too, yeah. I was kind of embarrassed though, because we're triplets actually, and she like made like 3 little pumpkin outfits. I wanted to be a Ghostbuster. Grandma.
I know, right? Grandmas always have the best ideas.
I know, yeah, it was awesome.
But Marc Jacobs, I mean, wow, incredible
I know, it was
that you
nuts.
ran into him.
Yeah, it was insane.
It took
Yeah,
off,
that was
and
like
as well as dancing. So you do dancing as well.
No, I don't dance. I can, but I don't.
Oh, I'm like, why did I think you danced as well? But anyways, Legos, cool. I also wasn't that great at putting them together, unfortunately, but it has inspired me now. I think we need to put some Legos in some of your videos. Oh, yeah. And,
I got you.
we're going to put something together that's going to be the perfect collaboration.
Perfect. Cool. Heck yeah. Sounds good.
All right, Brian. Mr. Brian,
Hey,
you are an
doing?
entrepreneur. You got your own clothing brand. Making moves. You also used to play professional basketball, as a side note.
Yes, played a little bit. It's always been a love of mine since I was about 9, 10 years old. The game was kind of a therapeutic outlet for me, losing my father when I was young, but kind of lost myself in the game of basketball and had a crazy dream when I was like 10 years old to make the NBA. Had a crazy list when I was the day before 5th grade. I'm like, I listed 25 goals. The 25th was to make it in the NBA. When I told you I tried to do anything and everything to accomplish that, I did. So the game kind of taken me all over the world. So played professionally in Kuwait, Italy, France, Israel, the Dominican Republic. Got a couple shots in the league with the Knicks and Nets in training camp. Got drafted in the G League. But what really set me apart was playing at the Rucker up in New York City. And I knew the Rucker was like the place to make a name. So they told me, if you want to play at the Rucker and make a name, you got to bring your game. So couple games I couldn't get on the court. It took me a while, but one time I got hot early and often, and it went from every single nickname you could think of, like 98 Degrees, Nick Lachey.
Wow,
you could just
98
picture
Degrees,
every
taking
single
us
name.
back. I love them.
Don't make me sing the song now. No,
I will right now, actually.
I think I had about 35 at the time, and the announcer, Hannibal, if he's listening on the mic, said, if you drop 40, we'll get you a nickname. So did a couple step back moves, hit a 3, and they said Nick Lachey, a.k.a. Smoking Aces, in the building. So if you make a nickname in New York City, if you make a nickname in New York City, kind of carries you. I remember at the time, humbly speaking, I wasn't in the league yet, so I got shoe deals from And1, K1X, and the following summer went to go back to the Rucker to defend my scoring title, and I ruptured my Achilles. So I saw the impact my story had of hustle and heart, overcome the odds. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to drop Smoking Aces, turn into Brand Aces, and start telling stories through apparel. So the last 3 to 4 years, started doing these celebrity basketball games, building a brand backwards with our partner Nike, and just getting guys and influencers through my network. And slowly but surely, we started telling stories through the culture of basketball and just grew. So from like 10,000 feet, picture like Nike, Kith, and Supreme kind of having a baby. People laugh, but that's us, but we're telling stories through apparel. And I think it's just so authentic when you got these inspirational messages like walk on, hustle and heart, and you can connect it to apparel and threads. I think it authentically and organically relates to the culture, and that's why we're here. So it's been a humbling 3-4 years as founder man, but slowly but surely we got a good team, and we're going to look forward to continue to make an impact to the game.
Wow, I love that. A good story is what really is making a difference these days. So I love what you're doing with your brand. You're actually sitting next to somebody who also dabbles a little bit. He's actually rocking his stuff right now.
Hey, you
Mylan.
got to. Gotta
You
represent.
you're rocking the brand on you. I love it. That's the first thing I saw was your jacket when I met you. It's fresh.
Yeah,
So
appreciate
tell
it.
us a little bit about your creative outlet, your brand, what has inspired you to get it started and off the ground, and maybe you two can do a collaboration together. I don't know.
With Wilson, right? With Wilson?
With
right.
yes, hint Wilson, if you're listening to us.
No, I mean, basically for me, I was also a former athlete. But I think for me, seeing both sides of the game, what I do now as a influencer, I've had the game stripped from me. So I broke my leg when I was playing college. Well, right before I got to college, I broke my leg, and the game was stripped from me. So I still went on to play college basketball, but after the fact, I realized how important it was that the game can be gone, you know what I mean? So I had to figure out a way to pivot, still stay involved, but you know what I mean? How can I make a new mark, not in an athlete sense? So for me, the best thing that could have happened was COVID, because just like everybody else, everything was stripped, right? We couldn't go anywhere. Where I was, they were taking the rims down off of the basketball courts. Kids couldn't go play anywhere, right? So I just went to the drawing board. I was like, I got to get creative. I got to figure out a way to connect with my audience. I was doing motivational speaking at the time. It was like, I'm about to start walking around the house seeing what I can make with household items that kids from all over the world I can connect with, can get better, improve at home, So I started doing different things. Like I said, more so from the performance aspect, trying to help people get better at home. And one thing led to another, one viral video after another. Here I am now, I'm making decors, sneaker fridges, whatever.
I saw some Nikes on the network app that I need.
Hey.
Those were fresh. Those Air Force Ones, you know what I'm talking about?
Hey, no, yeah. Oh, I'm a huge sneakerhead, but
You want to send them
that's the
over
whole
my
point.
way? I don't know.
You know what I mean? You tie all that in together, and you don't have to be a basketball player or a former basketball player to actually enjoy the game. You know what I mean? Like, you don't ever have to play basketball to really have a true love for it. So what I'm trying to do with my brand is just connect everybody through basketball, and it's been an honor, it's been a blessing the past few years to really take my platform to another level and be able to connect with everybody all over the world. So, yeah.
Well, it's truly inspiring to hear that you took that time during COVID to really take action, because I think a lot of people either went left or right. Some just decided to binge watch. A lot of us decided to get off our butts and actually do something with that time, but it's inspiring.
COVID was either going to make or break you, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I made sure it was going to make me, and like I said, it was really the best thing for me that could have happened in terms of my brand. And I think in a corporate stance, it sort of exposed everybody to realize, like, you don't have to be in the office, or you can be at home grinding, doing your thing. So I think honestly COVID was a blessing in disguise for all of us, but for me especially, that's what took off for me. So yeah.
I think Hannah and I were even talking a little about her being able to work from home, which is amazing too.
Yeah.
So you get to create in your own space, which is lovely.
Yeah,
I know.
Absolutely.
She's a nomad traveling. Take me with you, Hannah. I want to go travel the world with you now.
Definitely. Hey.
I will assist you with all of your social media content if you need it. I'll carry your bags, you just let me know what you need help with. I got you. All right, so next up, we've got Cory. You've got quite the following on some of your social media platforms, Cory. You've done a great job just pounding away at your content. I love to see it. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what transpired to get you started in that direction?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I've always grown up, being an artist and trying to figure out a way to make, money and a living being an artist. It's one of those things, the starving artist trope. My whole family was, lawyers and judges and things of that nature. So, decided not to go to school and to pursue, art in the type of fashion is something that took a lot of convincing for them on their part. And, a video.
So you're not a judge.
No. Not today, but
Not today.
A video with 1 million views will get your parents to think you're doing something serious real quick. So, so took that talent and trying to transform it. I've always had two things, which is a love for art and a love for basketball. Of course, I grew up trying to be like these guys over here and make it to the league, of course. And then I realized I wasn't 6'8" and my knee hurt. So I was like, maybe let's not do that. I'll just play, when I get time, and I'll find a way to get to the NBA a different way. So I put a pen and pencil to a pair of shoes and got it on a couple NBA guys and started the ball rolling that way on a bigger, better nature, and hopped on YouTube, got a show with overtime, do these things like that, and just started blowing the ball up as best as possible. So now, I get to sit here and, do stuff like this, and who never I never knew that, paintbrush and, some paint could get you to do something like this, or hanging out in Shaq's house and listening to Damian Lillard diss tracks and,
hanging out at Shaq's house, no big deal, yeah.
All types of random stuff, so, you get to see that, and then I get to see my work on guys like John Morant and James Harden and all these other players that are,
Wow.
doing great, crazy things that get made into NFTs and everything else, and I get to watch it all and see what's going on, and things I never thought I'd be able to do. So, you never know what you can get into if you actually put the time and effort into it.
What do you think about the NFT world?
I think it's like when, the cell phones first dropped and then, the internet started blowing up. It's one of those things that you might not get right now, but, in 10, 20 years, it'll be secondhand nature like anything else. And we'll
Like,
be
you're
on
going to
to the
have an
next
art
thing.
piece NFT? Do we all have dibs on it?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me know. We're
Just wanna
working
make
on
sure,
a couple. We're working on a
right?
couple.
Each of us at this table gets one.
Of course. Everybody gets one of
It's
those.
only fair.
Of course.
Exactly. Family rate. We get that free discount.
I don't know. Some of you guys got money. I know that.
No discounts. We got you.
All right. I know how that goes, too. I know how that
All
goes,
that
too.
up in the company.
So yeah, so we just try to expand and work on it, and and I came into the issue of doing all this work for all these celebrities and athletes, and and I get a lot of kids, it's overtime. I get a lot of kids and people like that asking me for shoes and trying to buy stuff. They can't afford everything like that, so trying to expand and find new ways to make sure the product and the art that I create can get as many people as possible by things like the clothing line that we're rocking and wearing.
I was going to say, you're rocking it head to toe right now. We got the cap, we got the hoodie on.
Yeah. So
I love those
We're
colors.
getting everything ready, started launching stuff. It's the first rollout we did for All-Star Weekend this year, and we're ramping up from here on out. So trying to make sure we got enough pieces for everybody to get what they want. And, if it's shoes, cool, and if it's not, you got something else you can go for too.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm into it. All right, next up we've got Chuck. Chuck, you've been quiet over there. I feel like I've neglected you. We have now made it to the man at the table, right? You're serving us basketballs for dinner,
cutting
right?
Turkeys. I'm cutting turkeys over
Cutting
here.
the turkeys over here and barbecuing on the grill.
Absolutely.
So let's get into your backstory, Chuck. Tell us a little bit about your art background, your design background, what has inspired you to go into this artistic direction.
Well, thank you. I started painting when I was a kid, about like 3 years old. Wanted to be a basketball player like many of us here. Some of us probably growing up in the same community, same background stories. And then, having that realization in like 10th and 11th grade that I'm not going to grow anymore, or I'm not going to be, Steph Curry with the shot. I started to lean into my artistic creativity. Funny enough, I didn't always want to be an artist, although I knew how to do art. I went into being a barber, and barbering kind of led me to the sports world. I ended up cutting a lot of people from the Washington Wizards, 76ers. I have friends and family that still actively cut for the 76ers, and I was always fascinated with the sports world. Fast forward, 5-6 years later, I just used my art platform to highlight Black culture and be authentic in telling our stories. And that has led me to do projects with Topps, having my own baseball collection, working on campaigns for James Harden, linking up with Malcolm Jenkins of the New Orleans Saints to release our private collection that just dropped today, actually in Saks, right in Beechwood, Ohio.
I was like, wait, I think I was at that Saks.
Yeah,
they were
look,
blasting
check
the
us out.
music.
Yeah,
I literally
it's
walked,
right there.
Okay,
It's right
I
there.
was there. I
So-
literally
so-
was like,
so-
there's a party
So
in
you can
Saks
check.
right
So you can check out our new collection. I partnered up with Damari. That's his company.
Wow.
But I think just using my art to help highlight African American community and our stories is what my mission is and what I continue to do, and it's opening up so many doors. And I'm just thankful that I'm able to inspire a lot of people that look like me that didn't know that they could do art and be here at this table in the All-Star Weekend, so, yeah.
Well, it's truly inspiring what you do.
Thank you.
I can't believe I was there at Saks. It was meant to be. I knew you were going to be at this
Thank
table,
you.
right?
Thank
but
you. Look,
congratulations
you gotta get
on
some. We gotta
all
get you
these
some.
collabs. I
We
know.
gotta get you. It's
Size
real nice.
small or extra small or medium. Actually, I'll take any size.
got
I
you.
don't even care. All right, last but not least, we've got Kevin with us from the Cleveland Cavaliers. He does some creative work over there as an art director. We are in Cleveland as well. I mean, what better of a place?
Yes. Welcome to our home.
It's freezing here, but I love it.
A little cold, a little windy, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I think, similar to some of these other stories, for me at a young age, it was, hey, how can I find my way to the league? Like, how can I stay connected to sport? And basketball was a passion for me. I grew up in the 80s, so it was trading cards. And my dad worked for a print shop, so I was constantly sketching things. He'd take it to the print shop, bring it back. And I literally remember sitting there drawing, like if you can picture the old Bart Simpson kind of Air Jordan pose, like I would take custom jerseys, fill them out, like color them in, and I'm sending them. I'm mailing them to guys, David Robinson, Chris Webber, all these guys, trying to get autographs, and David Robinson actually sent one back to me, which was so cool. So that was just art at a young age, just trying to be inspired, take in culture. It's wild how it's blown up now, and you have so much culture that can infuse us as people who work for teams. How can we link up with all these folks, outside, these individual brands, these like really cool culture pieces, and bring them back to basketball? From a retail standpoint, it's all about coming up with cool collabs and what can we do, what can we create, how can we have these one-off drops and stuff. So it's fun to work for a team, but be able to kind of lean into these other guys and these other folks at the table and bring art into our story and mix it up. We work for a brand, and it can get same old a little bit. We find ways to develop it and push it, but we want to be unique, and it's cool to lean in and try to pull from these guys a little bit. Be inspired, but also, hey, what can we do? How can we cook something up together? How can we come up with a cool drop? So that's always fun too. Yeah.
I'm jealous of your job. I want to be like you when I grow up. And also, if I can give you my Chris Webber card to get signed, that would be great.
It's wild because, I think as a little kid, never did I think about getting to working in sports other than just playing in sports. You don't think of it that way. And now with social media and fashion and culture and music and everything coming in, there's so many different outlets to still be connected to sport by not stepping onto the floor, which is so cool.
It's so cool, and just inspiring to see that there are careers like this one. I mean, I think a lot of younger kids would probably be like, oh my God, I want to be like Kevin when I grow up, truthfully. And you make the team look good.
Thanks. I moved here in 16. That was my first year with the Cavs. Coincidentally enough, it's the year we won the ring, so I like to think that my brand design and my art direction is the reason that we have that championship here in Cleveland. Nothing to do with Kyrie or Bron or any of those guys.
You're the secret sauce. I knew it. There was something missing.
Clearly, it's all related to brand design and art direction.
Clearly. Yeah. All right, we'll keep it on the DL, though. Don't worry. Your secret's safe with this table right here. All right, so on some closing notes, just if anyone wants to speak on other ideas that they have for the future ongoing, as far as future projects that they see kind of in the mix, I would love to hear from you on that. So take it away. If anybody is working on anything special creatively, would love to hear your thoughts on it.
I'll go quick because I know we have essentially no time. I'd say I'm really working on my own on-camera presence, and that's something I'm really excited about. I feel like a lot of my content that I do is me doing action things or capturing it in a very unique way. And so I'm working on that, and I just joined the ESPN W team, so hyper focusing on just
congratulations,
women's sports and like making sure that they're getting the shine they deserve. So that's something that I'm really excited about, and looking forward to trying to tell everyone's stories in a unique way.
Well, can't wait to see you on the big screen one day, right? We're going to see you chatting it up.
A couple things. We're doing a collaboration with Complex over at Tower City all weekend long. The Aces Lounge, powered by Complex. We got a lot of interviews, behind the scenes, BTS with NBA, WNBA, and cultural influencers. So come check it out, Tower City, down the block. What we're excited about is this brand has been organically built over the last couple of years. So it caught traction of the NBA. So we're going to announce our NBA license in April. So we're excited to roll out the logos of all the NBA teams. We'll do a Hustle and Heart series. If the Cleveland Cavaliers fans are listening, the Cavaliers We Should Talk is one of them. Minimum 6 teams, as you know. So we'll drop a Hustle and Heart Cleveland line. We're just excited. It just started from the bottom. We're growing up organically, and more importantly, just bringing a lot of the culture and the people who love the game together. So a few other things in the mix, but that's kind of the next phase for Brand Aces. And we're excited that it's not just a line, it's more of a brand platform, and it's just impacting people, again, where the game all started, as you guys know. So.
Well, congrats on the licensing. That's a big deal.
Appreciate that.
Really.
It's Kevin Bello over there, my man over there.
Yes.
Partner man.
Partner man over here. Oh, is your mic off? Do we need to share? Do you want Hannah's mic maybe? I don't know if it'll reach. Oh no. Oh no. Fail.
Got you, dog.
Okay.
Got you, dog.
That's all right.
Oh, you got it? You got it?
D's coming up. Oh.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. But, you know, our main thing is like food, fashion, and fun. You know, we're just like really bringing the colorful flair back into fashion and art. And yeah, you know, relaunching our website, doing like some cool NFT stuff, and we're doing like lots of like restaurant and architectural designs in New York. So just, you know, just stay tuned.
So you're the NFT one. We need to get that family discount from.
Right now, everything's top secret,
All
but
right.
our new site will be launching in.
Yeah, what's the promo? What's the family promo?
Fun.
Like 1, 2, 3. Okay. Did they cut off our mics?
For me,
Oh, no.
it's one of those things where you're always working on something. So it's not necessarily like what I'm doing right now. At any given moment, for any of us, any opportunity can come up where it could change your life, you know what I mean? Or it could be a brand that you never even thought, you know, would happen. So I think even for everybody listening, it's just one of those things where it's like, we all have a story, but we all put the work in too. But now, at any given moment, it can happen. And it's just for anybody else, you know what I mean? It's just about discovery. Once that moment comes, once you get that break, from there, everything can, you know, change your life. So it's not necessarily about what you're doing at this very moment, but tomorrow could change your life. It could be completely game changer, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
well, sounds like all the stories here as well. Couple incidences that happened, little Mark Jacobs meeting over there, little baseball card
Life-changing.
or basketball card signing when you were a child, and you've just stumbled on Shaq's house, I don't know. I mean, it's just seems like everything has aligned quite perfectly for your creative outlets to really just transpire into something great. So it looks like we are going to be concluding here. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us at the table. Each and every one of you truly deserves a seat here. I can't wait to see all of your successes in the future. I loved hearing all of your stories. I wish I could sit here for hours, actually. I could probably just chat. So many things to ask, so many questions. But again, thank you, Wilson, for having us at this family reunion. Truly amazing to live like an athlete, as Wilson says. And I think that you are all literally doing just that in your careers. So again, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Moving too quick, keep the cameras in the playback. Dang. So tell me how you feel with it. You put a lid on it, I ain't got no chill with it. This right here your problem, you gon' have to deal with it. Lay it on the line, high risk, that's the meal ticket.